some of these houses as well, and that will kind of make it kind of pop out a little bit more. Let me take a step back, and you can kind of see it now by adding in this light source to it. We might even add some of the new effects as well from the Fantasy Regional style, so I'll make sure to show those as well. I want to be able to show the new stuff with 2.0 coming out really soon. So now we have all those nice light sources there. I'll go into the catalog here. There should be some effects. Why don't I show you those so you can kind of see those? Oopsie, I did not spell effects correctly. My mistake. There we go. Yeah, the aura could be cool. I agree with that. Let's go ahead and go check them out. Here we are. A lot of effects. So we got a force field. We got portals. We've got bubbles. This force field right here might be good. Now, these are not released yet, just to let you know. So I will place it on here, but the map won't be... You won't be able... this map will be clonable if you want to use it, but just know that this particular stamp will be erased when you go to clone it because it's not released to the public yet. So we'll go ahead and use this as a nice little egg kind of thing that kind of protects the dome of the fortress. Protects the fortress here. We can also change the color if you want. I kind of like purple. I think it works kind of well, but if you wanted to change the color, you can. If you want it to be more green, I kind of feel that purple works well because purple and greenish blues kind of go well together. So I think that actually looks good. I'll keep that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other options that we have. This aura, someone mentioned an aura. I do like that idea. That's kind of cool. You could have like these auras kind of emanating away from the crater, like putting like a little aura going like that. Maybe put one that kind of goes like this. Another one that kind of goes like this over here. Another one that kind of goes over here like this or like that. So you can do that kind of stuff. I can select all of them. And I could all put them up a layer if I wanted to be all super on top like that or like this. If I wanted to change the hue to a color that I want to use, I can do that to go with the colors. Maybe going with a more purplish light color will work best and change the contrast as I want to kind of fit and make these kind of like rifts that you kind of see. We can do that. All kinds of cool things with these new effects as soon as they get released. There's this arcane circle. I kind of like this one. We could use this arcane circle and maybe like put it like on the very top, like above, right here like this to kind of show that, let's go break this down a layer so that way it's on top. This way we can kind of show that there's not just a barrier on the tower, but there's maybe some magic that's kind of binding at the top. So like this kind of circle here. And then we could also, let's take these new lightning type pieces right here. This is great, but instead of going with the blue, we'll change the hue to green to fit with the disc, and then we'll have some lightning kind of emanating from it like this. So we'll go ahead and change it up. One going like this, and then another one kind of going like this, and then another one kind of going off the screen, kind of like that. I think that's okay. Off like that, and then I think overall, let me just take a look at it. I think that looks good. This one right here is kind of going off a little bit, so I'll kind of bring it over to here instead, like this, creating these interesting kind of riffs. Let's go ahead and put one right here. I don't want to distract too much. There we go. How about that one? That looks good. There we go. So now we have those nice purple effects. Let's keep adding effects. I think that will look nice. There's also this like swirl, like smoke. I kind of like that. We could have it beneath, swirling beneath this character right here to make it look like maybe they float. I'm not sure if I can change the color to be green. It doesn't look like I can. But one thing I can do to make it that color is to take a light stamp and then just put it on top of it like this. And then what I can do is change it from overlay to color. And then it will change the color like that. Let's maybe change it to like maybe a little bit more greenish color. Well, actually, I think it should be fine like that. That way we have some nice kind of smoke swirling underneath the character. It's kind of popping out a little too much, so I might bring the opacity down a little bit on it, so that way it's not too much contrast, but I think that looks good. It's got some swirling smoke. Yeah, they float. Let's make it a little bit smaller, because it's a little big. If I just put it right underneath the character, it should kind of convey the idea that they kind of leave a trail of smoke or swirling smoke above or below them where they're standing. We can keep using more effects, I think. This rain right here could be interesting. I could maybe put this around this character like this to make it look like maybe there's like some surging like energy or something. Could put it like this at the bottom coming from the swirl maybe. That could make that a little bit more interesting. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like that. That looks good. Let's put it there like that. Swirling upward. Okay, so now you've seen a lot of the effects that we have there. Kind of nice stuff. We can go back to putting some more stuff on the map. You can see here that we have a ton of cool classical empire stuff. Let me go ahead and just type in that so you can see it all in its glory here. Classical empires. I'll expand it so you can take a look at everything. So you can see there's quite a bit this classical empires, and we are doing a classical empire stream this week or this month. We're going to be creating a classical empire city using a lot of these stamps. That'll be a full-on series, so that will take a little while. But you can see that there's a lot of cool different stamps. Finally, some more interior type of stuff that you can work with, which is kind of nice to have. Tons of statues, very much Greek, Roman type of stamps, as well as some higher cliffs, which are greatly needed for the style. So market stuff, lots of cool stuff. Some dock platforms, all kinds of great stuff in here. So there's a lot of cool stuff that we can work with. So I kind of take a look at all that. Kind of cool, right? Lots of cool stuff coming up with the fantasy regional style. So we'll go ahead and close out of that. And I've showed you that. We can continue to add some more stuff to it. What might be nice, I think, is to throw in some like dead trees or some kind. So if I type in tree, I can take these dead trees right here, and I think these would work really well. But what I might do is change them to make them look like what are called ghost snags. A ghost snag because it's white, and it's white because it's dead. There's no more water going into it, and so it loses its color, and it turns this whitish color. That's why it's called a ghost snag. We're going to desaturate it, bring the brightness up, and then I have these nice bright white trees, and then I can go in and let's make sure that I have them on the right layer here. I think layer 4 looks good. And we're going to place just some rando white trees in some of the negative space so that way we kind of have at least some form of vegetation in here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And remember, it doesn't have to be to scale with the characters, right? Because it's a medieval map, right? We can have the characters be at a different scale, the illustrative element, while the stamps of the map itself might be at various scales. So it's okay if the trees are not scaled up to the characters. We'll go ahead and place these here. Let's go ahead and put maybe a couple dead trees over here as well. And this white also creates a little bit more contrast, right? These trees are a little bit brighter than the ground, and so they pop out more, right? And the dead trees will stick with the dead theme that we're going for, the City of the Dead, right? There you go. So now we have kind of that put together. We're at a lot of changes, so we'll quickly save. Or he sells cool items for souls. Oh, I love that idea. That's a great idea. I'd love to have that. Okay, so I think we're already at like 3:51 my time, PM, PST time. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add in the last elements, which are going to be things like the labeling each thing. And then we also want to maybe throw in some kind of legend. We have to pick a good spot to put the legend. So all that stuff. What I'll end up generally doing is I'll select everything and go lock. So that way I don't accidentally select anything. And what I need to do now is create some banners or numbers to represent certain places and things, right?